Hey, I just finished Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and I wanted to talk about it. So my history with Metroid Prime is I rented the first one from Blockbuster when it came out, and I didn't finish it in time, had to take it back. Then I wasn't convinced to buy it, but I did enjoy it, I would say. I enjoyed it enough that when the trilogy came out, I did buy that on Wii U because it was a great deal. It was like $20 or something for all three games. After I did that, I played through number one all the way and enjoyed it quite a bit more. I think initially got lost a little bit more more than most people. I think I was just really slow at these games. And so since I had played, maybe halfway through, a third of the way through, I beat it pretty quick and never really picked up two or for a while. And then I did pick up two, right, and played like 30% of the way through. And then just kind of fell off for no real good reason. It was just like Wii U is not my primary console at this point in time. I think the Switch was already out when I did this last. And it's, I keep my Wii U plugged in, but it's just not front of mind. And Prime 2, initially the tone kind of threw me off a little bit. It's darker, which is cool. The introductory part with like the Space Marines and the flashbacks there are like, whoa, this is like more cinematic. This is going to be cool. And then the actual game past that point, like after that cutscene's in, and it kind of it's a lot of gray in my opinion. The regions are so distinct in the first Metroid Prime. There's the orange lava area, the white snow, the green area, and like, why is it raining here and it's and it's dry next door one hallway over? Why is it a dry desert? Maybe not super believable, but it mapped more easily in my mind because of that. It was easier to keep track of where I was and where I needed to be going eventually. And so I think I had that same hurdle with Prime 2 of like the first time I got a little stuck, I got a little lost. I was listening to the same music, and even though it's good, it just starting that same track over and over again starts to grate on you a little bit. So I dropped it. I don't know if I finished the first temple or not. This is obviously going to have spoilers, and I'm going to be comparing it to one a lot just because that's front of mind for me. I guess I could say I played Metroid Prime 1 again when it came out for Switch, and then just now played 2 again. So the comparison is always going to be there. So anyway, I bagged it after a while, and then the new trailer came out for 4, and I'm like, I should finish these up. I want to, and I want to do it. And so I fired up the Wii U again and started on Metroid Prime 2. So yeah, the plot and themes, I think the themes are cool. I don't always love dark and light, I gotta say. We've seen Dark Worlds just so many times in Nintendo games in particular, but this one is handled pretty well. I like that the Dark World is pretty segmented, so it doesn't feel like a whole nother world that's not that different. It really does feel different. Traversing it is quite different with the bubbles of light that you have to get to. And initially the enemies are there's a lot of new enemies. The new Ing guys are new, which I'll get back to, but that's something that eventually started bugging me. The actual plot, talking to the big moth guy, I wasn't really feeling. I really do love the isolation of Prime games. I don't like talking to Adam. I don't like talking to this moth guy. And then it definitely frustrated me when like I had to go talk to him again for him to unlock a door. It's like, ugh. I don't know. I get that you've got to tell the story, but that was such a strength of Prime 1 and such a strength still here in a lot of ways. You scan and you figure out what was going on. The story kind of, is revealed very organically and very small pieces, and I really enjoy that. So the gameplay mechanics in the Dark World are where most of the new stuff is. Shooting the bubbles and getting through the one-way portals, the two-way portals. I didn't really understand why some of them went both directions, but fine. The new beams are, I don't super care about light beam, dark beam. They're needed to open doors, but they have ammo, so you can always charge up and open a door. It's like, okay. I never felt like I had enough ammo. I only found one ammo upgrade by the end of the game. I guess they're really well hidden. But you have to, maybe you don't have to, but in order to get more ammo, you should use the other color weapon. It's like almost a cool idea, but it kind of made me not want to do them. And I didn't think they did that much more damage. I was still able to just beat guys with the regular beam. Yeah, I thought the combat is always just kind of the weak point of these games. So for other mechanics, it was almost towards the end of the game where they gave a few new upgrades. Spider Ball was in one, so it was really just the screw attack, I think, is the only big new one, besides the visors. But the screw attack was so stilted and you had to go in a straight line. I spent more time bouncing off the wall on top of what I was trying to get to. It went from like, whoa, cool, awesome, to just, oh, I have to use this again. Unfortunately, I want to love the screw attack, but I didn't think the level geometry always worked well for it. The visors too, I hate to just compare it to one every single time, but in the first one you had a thermal visor and the x-ray, and you could see different things, and in the remake you can see Samus's bones with the x-ray, and the guns heat up and cool down, and like, it was so integrated and so cool. And those are real things. We actually have thermal vision and x-rays in real life. They're like scientific things. But the light beam, or the light visor, no, it's a dark visor and an echo visor. The dark visor was just like, okay, I guess I have to use this now. And the echo visor, same thing. It's just like, alright, this is an echo room and I gotta find the 5 things and shoot them. I don't really, it's not really used that cool. I don't know, I just kind of let down by them. What was the other one? Oh, Scan Visor is the third one. And then the Annihilation Beam. Love the name Annihilation Beam. If you're doing light and dark, kind of like the quantum particle cancellation thing, Annihilation, it also just sounds cool. Great. Never really used it. Never really felt the need to use even missiles or anything. I also felt like the charge beam traveled slower than the regular shots or something. It felt like the charged beam always missed. Maybe the enemies just always seemed to move right when I shot, even when I was trying not to do that. I don't love just hammering on the button all the time, but I just ended up missing all those shots, so it didn't seem worth it, even though it is worth more, I'm sure, than the time it takes to charge. If it misses, then it's not. So the level design, really did love the level design. A lot of the rooms were unique, even though, like I said, the color palette is a little gray. A lot of the rooms were memorable, especially later on. They are used for a puzzle initially and then maybe reused for a puzzle later on, or the room just becomes super streamlined and then you can just fly right through it, which is great. Absolutely love that. I don't think I really have any complaints about the level design. Platforming was all good. I never just like missed a door because I couldn't see it or anything. Pretty great level design. So the enemies. My complaint is not that they reused a lot of enemies from the first game. It's that they reused all of the enemies from the first game. I didn't like check, but it feels like every single one. Maybe the lava worms didn't have like a new version, a slightly reskinned version. But just time and time again, I was like, oh, the wasps. But they look at, oh, it's a different wasp. You scan it and it's like, no, this is an Aether wasp, not a Talon 5 wasp. And the guys who you have to shoot their butts first and then break them and they have a big mouth, and just like, All the enemies come back. Even the little scuttle guys that like wrap around the corridors. Even some corridors were reused, which I understand. You built a whole game, and that's a lot of work, and then you're trying to do a sequel quickly. I get it. Or just don't reuse all of it. This is a new planet. I want to see new stuff, but it has the same little grass that hides when you shoot it, and like so many little guys are the same. But the new enemies, yeah, some were cool, some were not as much. The Ing were interesting and a little scary at the beginning. Like, what is this? Why are they moving so weird? Ing was cool. What else was new? I felt like there was not a lot of new stuff. The space pirates were mostly the same. I'm sure there were some differences, but not drastic. And I was feeling really like there's no new enemies in this game. And then I got to the fortress, Sanctuary Fortress, right? The city in the sky, the techno, glowy, whatever place. And then it was just like bam, 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 a bunch of new enemies. There were the spider mechanism guys that you gotta ram with the ball, and their heads fly off, and the like weird, kind of like Blaze from Minecraft guys that have shields, and they disrupt your suit, and you have to restart your suit, and like, whoa, where were all these guys the whole time? Why didn't everything get this treatment? That place was so cool in every way, design, and the enemies, music, everything. Really loved the Sanctuary Fortress. Yeah, graphics, great. It looks great on Wii U. I don't know what else to say. It looks great for a GameCube game, looks great for a Wii game, holds up super well. The art direction, more than anything, the art direction was so good for those. Just lovely atmosphere, start to finish. And obviously the music, always great. I like that it reused the... I don't know where it's from in Super Metroid, but it's used in the water level here, like where you go underwater, and I forget what it's called, but that part, cool callback. Like the music. So I felt like a lot of people were saying it was not quite as good. My roommate, when I bought it, was like, oh, let me know how you like too. I couldn't really do it. And then more recently, I've seen a lot of love on subreddits and stuff for Prime 2. So I guess it's just kind of a personal taste thing. I don't think it has a clear better or worse when compared to the first one. Would I play it again? I think I would. Like I've been complaining the whole time, but really, I think if I give it enough time to forget about it a little bit, I wouldn't mind playing it again for sure. I'd probably have more fun in just knowing roughly where to go, knowing about the keys, the temple keys. I guess I should have known that was coming because it was similar to the first one, but you have to go get the hints and then get the keys. And I didn't even realize there were hints. I happened to pick up all but one just by happening to scan the dead guys' bodies. But then... yeah, I'd actually bumped into a few of the what are they called? The enemy guys that have the keys in them. And I just didn't know what it was. Like I would see it on my visor and like, what's this thing just sitting here? Why am I being pushed off this platform? That game design thing of like right at the end, like, okay, go find the pieces of the Triforce or the whatever. I get it. And I think it is cool to spend a good amount of the game building up your arsenal and your powers and then spend some time really using it. It's very common for games to give you the coolest powers and then it's just over. And then, well, why did I even get that? So it's a good counterpoint to that. I think that's better on replays. I think the first replay of a Metroid game is always the worst for me. Just how I play them. Like I said, I take forever. I think I took 16 hours on this, and I only got 63% of scans. I didn't even get it nearly everything. I don't know. I'm just slow. I spend a lot of time walking back and forth. Like, well, where do I go? Walking the wrong way. What am I doing? So I think I would enjoy it more and more the more times I play it. That seems to be the way Metroid games go for me. I like replaying them. So I want to know what you think. Am I crazy? Was I right? What's your favorite Metroid Prime game? And I am considering streaming all the Prime games before 4 comes out, like maybe closer to that time, because I think it'll go quick now that I know what I'm doing. I gotta play 3. I probably don't want to play 3 on stream the first time, but let me know if you're interested in that too. Thanks, bye.